Question number 2 of the Fab 5 questions. First of all, remember, we're asking presupposition questions. We're also prefacing our questions with I'm curious and I'm interested. Question number 2. I'm curious, what is most important to you with your new home purchase? Or what is most important to you when selecting a builder to build your new home? Now, by asking the question, what is most important to you, hopefully what you're doing is you're trying to get the buyer to narrow his thinking down to a certain point of 1 or 2 things, no more, that you can develop or build your sales presentation around. So what is most important to you? By the way, the presupposition contained within that question is that there is something that is most important to the prospective buyer. And if we can find out what that most important thing is, well, then we can build it into our sales presentation. What's a common answer that you receive when you ask that question? Well, a very common answer is the buyer says, well, hey, listen, the thing that's most important to me is I want a good deal. What's your response when somebody says, I want a good deal? Well, the average salesperson says, oh, sure, we have a good deal. Let me show you what that good deal looks like. Dot, 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 and they go down the line. The more advanced salesperson says, oh, you want a good deal? That's curious. What does a good deal look like to you? And they gather some information. Pretty good question, but not the way that a superstar salesperson would respond. A superstar salesperson responds this way. When they're told, listen, I want a good deal, they say, wow, you know, a good deal is extremely important. It's important to me too. I'd be curious to know what you think a good deal is, but I'm also very interested in knowing what else is most important to you. Now, what just happened there? Number 1, the superstar salesperson validated the concern or the comment of the prospective buyer. Hey, listen, a good deal is important to me as well. I'm glad it's important to you. Validation, the commonality, the rapport continues to be built. Next, they said, I'd like to know what you think a good deal is. So we're going to get some questioning process, some feedback back and forth. But then the third part of the response was, I'd like to know what else is most important to you. Now, why does the superstar salesperson say, what else is most important to you? Well, they do it for a very specific reason, and that is they want to get the buyer off the conversation of money only. Now, we all, or price only, we all know that people buy based on an emotion, an emotive state, and then they turn around and they logic their way into that purchase. Money, price, is not the only reason that people buy real estate. They take a look at the price and then they justify the price with all the amenities, all the benefits, all the features of the particular piece of property. So by asking what else is most important to you, you can gather all kinds of information. They might say, well, I'll tell you what's most important to us is we'd like to be able to work with the project manager. Or we'd like to work with someone who has some creative ability to make some changes in the property. Or what's most important to us is someone that knows the financing process. Are those things that you can work with? Absolutely. And by working with those things, you then build the value, which then supports the price that you're charging. So question number 2 is, I'm curious, what's most important to you when buying a new home? Allow them to answer. Listen intently for what they say, for what they don't say. If they hinge their response around price or money, then simply ask them what else is more important, and then from those answers, you can build your sales presentation. All right, Fab 5 question number 3 coming up shortly.